So DN Ball's having really good synergy in terms of their fighting. But Balls just needs to last it a little bit more.
It's like Atab trying to take Ryze again.
Yeah.
That would be the third time if he successfully did it there. He's really on the ball with taking those enemy Ryze.
Mid farm is pretty even. I'm sorry, we do have Tofu's up on 10, so we have 10 behind in bot lane for TKS and 10 ahead in mid for TKS. So it's coming out pretty even. We do see that the gold actually advantage is in favor of Fairy Tail right now by a good 7k gold, and that is
0.7k.
0.7k gold. Thank you. Big difference.
That would be impressive.
And it does look like we have Arbit Rage going for that Tiger Stance build, which I'm a big fan of.
You can tell he's already quite ahead of Rekvi.
Level 7 to 6 right now. This is the stun. You can get the Tiger Stance off. There it is. Look at that dot to shred through Rekvi.
More than twice as many CS. So Rekvi probably pick up some here with his ultimate.
Not more than twice as many. 60 to 30, so.
That's just with the ultimate.
Yeah. We're going to be donating blue to Tofu. Looks like the blue hasn't quite spawned yet for Fairy Tail, so... Oh, I'm sorry. Sealy got it earlier. I was not watching that at the time. So still 0.6k gold up, and that's all from farm, because we've had no global objectives yet. All for farm from Fairy Tail. So we're going to see how TKS can manage to dig themselves out of the slight hole that they're in. They may actually not realize how much of an advantage they've been losing in farm. Of course, they have the ability to check CS. So.
But this is all farm. Like we haven't had a first blood. We haven't had a tower. This is all farm, and this is what 10 minutes in. Not quite.
And you know that's something that we were talking about with Team Spaghetti Cat versus Utterly Smooth last week, and that's something that's been really rampant in this tournament. Teams that know how to CS, know how to win their lanes, and know how to get, you know, that farm. They just know how to control the lane and farm. Have had such an advantage in this tournament. Some teams have just won purely by virtue of the fact that they can farm better than the other team. Oh, and there's a gank top against Arbit. Rekvi's really low. He just got ignited. He's going to flash out. He's probably going to go down to that ignite. He does. He tries to use his ultimate to get some health back, but here's Arbit Rage turning back on Luminios, taking a lot of damage. There's the dragon, but he's actually going to fall to Arbit Rage thanks to Turtle Stance. That's a double kill.
Double kill, yeah. I was actually surprised that Arbit Rage was still able to bully. By
oh, wow, he's still losing health. Oh.
But you can tell that when that half-health Luminius came out, he didn't just turn and run. He realized that he could still kill, and did. And
that jumps the lead to a whole 1.4k.
That ignite really paying off for Arbit Rage.
Absolutely. And you actually see Rekvi did try to pop that all, try to restore some health, but it was simply not enough.
Now he's got his wriggles. That'll be even more annoying.
This is going to be next to impossible to shut down. I mean, he's so much farther ahead than both the jungler and top at this point that even if jungle ganks continue, it's really going to take some help from Tofu coming up top to actually shut down that Udyr. And he's going to be all over top of balls in the team fights, I can tell you right now. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. DN bottom actually forced to use his ultimate about a minute ago to save balls and push away enemy team, so that's down. Looks like they'll be alright though.
Psychotic talking about the championship games right now. Probably talking about IAM. But I do not necessarily know.
I think the rerun's finished.
I think the reruns had finished. Although they actually, the reruns for IM Kiev did not say rerun this particular time around, so there are a lot of players in chat constantly asking every couple of minutes, is this live? Is this live? And everyone would say no. Actually, we have Tofu coming up top. This is exactly what I was just talking about earlier. They recognize the situation that they're in. There's no ward right now for Arbit Rage. He has an inkling that something might be going on.
Oh, yeah, when Rekvi starts to go aggressive on him and he knows that he can kill her.
Yeah.
He's got to realize that there's something iffy going on.
And he knows that he doesn't need to do much to stay ahead. He's got this big farm pushing towards him with the Wriggles and Turtle Stance. He will lose no health while freezing that at his tower. Actually, we have Tofu coming in, back in the mid. Sealy's a little bit low on mana. But yeah, Arbit Rage is going to be able to soak this farm up. Have no problem with that.
We can probably assume that Sealy said something about mid being missing to the top as well.
Yeah.
So
and
he was certainly aware.
That's really smart, because a lot of players, when they don't have vision, they only really act on their vision, not what is potential, what has the potential to happen. And I could definitely see Arbit Rage trying to push his advantage and really try to kill Rekvi yet again, and then dying to that 3-man gank.
But like I said, I think the mistake was Rekvi going aggressive, because Arbit Rage and Rekvi both know that in a 1v1, Arbit Rage is going to win. So if Rekvi's going aggressive, there must be something fishy going on.
Yeah, Angel just backed and actually picked up a Vampiric Scepter, double Dorans. You know, as Berserker's Greaves, going for kind of that Moscow 5 AD build where you got 2 or 3 Dorans plays, a Wriggles, and a Phantom Dancer, which actually works really well on Vayne, somebody who scales ridiculously well with attack speed, so that early Phantom Dancer would definitely be beneficial. Also the Wriggles to keep her alive.
TKS both both bots are backing right now, realizing the wave's pushed up and they can get back probably without losing too much CS. And there goes Terry as well.
Yep.
Usumgajin.
Usumgajin is still...
That's right.
Usum with only the Fairy Charm actually going to upgrade to a Philosopher's Stone boots and
About
some
time.
more stuff. Yeah, at this point. Come on. There you go. There you go. There's the Philosopher's Stone dancing around. Couple of wards. Looks like no boots, though. He's saving. Now he's just getting pots.
Looks like we've got ATAB in TKS's jungle.
Yep. Oh, Tofu lays down the poison. And here's Luminios actually diving on an ATAB. Sealy's there, but relatively low on mana. This could be a 2v2, or it could just end up being... Ah, there's actually the charm. But
that
to no
fox
avail.
just charmed that snake.
It's the fox and snake battle, that's right. Except it's more like half fox, half snake.
Yeah, but before we left, ATAB was able to ward TKS's blue, so we'll see if that comes into play later.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a ward from TKS,
Arbor
a
Rage
pink ward.
pushing hard top, man. Actually put 2 Tiger Procs on Rekby while taking the tower
And
shots.
and he's actually going to dive in. There's a flash in with the stun, and the Tiger Stance picks up the kill. No problem.
Not at all.
Walks away with that.
He didn't even care.
Nope. And he saw, of course, that that Luminios was down here in the jungle. So those are really smart plays. Listen, I know what your jungle is. I don't have to worry about ganks. Hell, I know where your AP is, too. He was there as well. So, Rekby basically being hung out there to dry.
Arbor Rage now having all 3 of Fairy Tail's kills.
Yeah. Wow. Luminios moving on the blue, so it looks like they're not going to be able to take advantage of that ward that they did place. I wanted to point out that there was a pink down here for TKS for Dragon, so if they are able to put themselves in a position to get Dragon, that could something happen here. ATAB coming up a little bit belated for that blue. And wow, Arbor Rage taking the turret at 14 minutes. Pretty damn early turret, and that puts them up to 3k gold ahead. So this is a big advantage for Fairy Tail coming up right now, and it's going to be hard for TKS to really dig themselves out of this hole right now.
Oh, we got some action bottom.
Yep. There's the ult by Dien. Actually, Luminios doing a lot of damage on Usum. There's balls, and Angel really wants to kill on Dien. Here's ATAB coming in. He's focusing down Dien, but actually Dien gets a great tornado. There's the flash by ATAB. He gets the grab. Dien's almost certainly going to gun, but there's an exhaust on ATAB. There he goes down. Sealy's come in. Luminios is getting fairly low. There's the charm. Very nice. Actually, Angel's probably going to take that kill, and he does. There's balls in the tower, but here's Tofu from behind. The ult continue fight. There's the ignite, though, by Sealy. Actually, Tofu's in a lot of trouble now. Atsuki Angel's definitely going to go down, and he does, but Tofu's in the danger of going down as well. The blue's going to be passed back to Sealy, and unfortunately, Balls does not have the manpower or the firepower to take down Sealy. So that will go in advantage of Fairy Tail, especially since Arbor Rage, meanwhile, has been able to continue pushing top with impunity, basically. So that was 3 for 2, and stretching that gold lead to 3.6k, 3.2k. And what would have been great is if knowing that 8-bit Rage was up there in the top, if TKS was able to back off and survive that fight and do a little bit better, they may have been able to pick up Dragon afterwards, especially with that pink ward.
Yeah, some nice reactions to TKS and Fairy Tail, both sending their mids down there to help in that fight.
Absolutely. It was a little extended. I think that if Tofu had been there earlier, it definitely could have swung in the favor of TKS.
If either team had one more member there earlier, it probably wouldn't have been so damaging for them.
You're totally right. Usum actually deciding to pick up a health crystal towards that Heart of Gold before, or potentially towards the Kindle Gem before boots. It's kind of strange on Tark, especially Tark, a champion who a lot of players like to see a lot of movement speed on, so you can lay down that stun no matter where you are. Luminios is actually coming up to top. He's going to go all the way around, either to counter jungler or more likely to come in on Ardent Rage here. Here's Rekby trying to do some damage, but he's got a big wave. Actually, he could go down right now.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to be careful. This is exactly what happened last time.
There's the dragon in. Rekby needs to back off pretty soon. Actually, that was a perfect time to back off. Luminios may be able to lay this down. He has the red buff. He needs a gap closer or some way to catch up to Udyr, but now he's just going to waltz away from that, no problem. Actually, Sealy and ATAB coming up just in case that turned foul for Fairy Tail.
Well, certainly a better gank than last time, as it didn't end in a double kill for Udyr, but he's just so tanky right now.
I know, and he's sitting at how much farm now? 136, highest in the game, basically tied right now with Akatsuki Angel. Although Tofu's doing a good job of farming right now. We do have the triple Dorans into Will of the Ancients for Tofu.
Luminios actually going back in, trying to decide whether this 1v1's going to end well. I mean,
look at the health regen for
Here
Arbor
comes
Rage,
Rekby. But all this time where they're 2 for TKS top, we've really got to consider that Fairy Tail might make a move on Dragon, and it would be a good time to do it for
Absolutely.
sure.
Look, we have 4 bottom, and in fact, ATAB's doing the whole ward around. That's exactly great call, Chili, because that's exactly what they're going to do right now. They only have 2 at the bottom to really respond to that. Balls and Deanne, fortunately, at full health and mana, but it actually looks like bottom lane isn't even going to come up and help. They don't have a ward, so they don't want to alert TKS that it might be happening. Yep, and Tofu is just going back to lane.
And Angel and Usum are still in lane, trying to kind of pretend that they aren't doing Dragon.
We're totally
We're just
totally just landing. Oh, and they decided to go up at the very last second.
And it's done.
And yep, that's at 17 minutes, 30 seconds, so around 23. Oh, look, Requiem dying again on the tower. Here's Tofu to try to help out, but I'm pretty sure Arbit Rage could totally destroy Tofu. Tofu does not have much mana. He actually turns around. Yep, there it is. But here's Luminios. This could turn good for... There's the ult, but it actually misses. Oh, no!
Tofu hasn't got enough mana to pursue this. If Tofu had the mana for that fight, I think we can say that Arbit Rage finally may have fallen. But
yeah, and here's actually Sealy to clean up. Tofu's low and out of mana. Luminios is full and has red, but Sealy's here. He's got the spell vamp queued up. 8-bit Rage, he's actually just hanging around. Oh, he dives in on Tofu! He's on the tower, he's doing lots of damage. Knocks him down with the skill shot. He actually can dive over the wall. Luminios is almost got Dragon, though. But as soon as he does, Sealy, well, actually, Sealy's ult is down.
Yeah, used it to catch up there. So,
oh, here comes Luminios. Oh, in the flash up the wall. There's the Dragon. Picks him up there, tags him with red buff. Actually, red buff's down now. And Sealy's
where's
gonna
the rest of the team?
Run out of there. ATAB's actually just hanging out in between towers right now.
Yeah, I mean, considering that they knew Sealy was there for a really long time, I'm surprised we didn't have any reinforcements.
8-bit Rage has been up here forever. Looks like he's going for an early Triforce as well. He's got the parts of the Phage, he's got the Zeal, and is going to be picking that up really soon. It's only 18 minutes in the game. Actually, there's an ult on Luminios. Sealy doesn't have much mana, but he can lay down some damage. Not quite enough to finish him off, though. He didn't have enough for the Charm and and his Q. Let's see how see how Sealy's building right now. He does have maxed fire, Foxfire, maxed Orb of Deception, of course, leaving that Charm for last. Tofu over here, he is maxing his Noxious Blast instead of Twin Fang. And that's actually kind of an interesting thing between Cassiopeias. And I'm not a big Cassiopeia player myself, but I have seen Cassiopeia players max Twin Fang instead to do more damage in lane. And it looks like we have an Akatsuki Angel either going for an IE with a Vamp or just deciding to get a Bloodthirster. Meanwhile, basically the same thing for Balls, except he's almost definitely going for that Bloodthirster. Or for that Infinity Edge.
Another gank on Rek'Vi top. I don't know if you can call it a gank if it's just Arbit Rage and over again.
It's just him in his lane, yeah.
But he's not even allowing Rek'Vi near the creep line.
And this is just stretching. Actually, look at the gold right now. Since the last time we checked, we have stretched up to 5.5k gold. And that's starting to get into the realm of very significant, where you might be able to win team fights just because of the goal advantage and not even because of your positioning. You just have more things than the other team. Here's Sealy coming for a gank bottom. Actually, he's got the Will. He's going for the looks like he's going for the double Doran's Will into Crystal Scepter, a very safe, very HP heavy and spell vamp heavy build. And he's actually coming in, but there's a ward for TKS. They're not really going to get caught out. ATAP's here, but his ult is not yet off. Oh, it is off cooldown. I'm really bad with that. Here's Luminios on an 8-bit. There's the exhaust. The exhaust's really going to make it happen. 8-bit's coming around. Tofu's there as well. Tofu's going to try to get him off the wall. He does flash. Very nice flash, but he is so fast. Oh, and this slow just tagged it with the pool, but it's not going to be enough.
What an escape. I mean, Udyr, 8-bit Rage, or Arbit Rage right now is burning summoner spells simply by existing. He's just
running. He's got the Zeal plus Bear Stance. He only has Merc Treads too, and he's just so fast. Cannot be pinned down. And that was, Tofu flashing over the wall and understanding how important it was that they got that kill. Rek'Vi actually picking up red right now, although Luminios might take it from him. Right now it's 8-3 with one tower for Fairy Tail. They're really just biding their time. We should notice that at this point, there's only been one kind of grouping up, and that's been in bot lane, which is kind of an extended fight between the teams. But as soon as Fairy Tail decides to group up, probably around the time of the next Dragon, which is in about 2 minutes, I think that's where we're going to see them really take the advantage that they built and kind of roll TKS with it.
And bot lane wasn't exactly, or the fight bot lane wasn't exactly a 5v5 either. It was kind of a 2v2, v3, v3, v4, v2 again, you know. When
I'll take your word for it. There's a lot of numbers.
Perhaps an exaggeration, but the point is it came in 1 by 1. Once we see an all-out fight, I can't imagine that this Udyr is not going to be a huge problem for TKS.
Oh my god, yeah. And you know what's really scary as well? That's Akatsuki Angel right now. He has 191 CS. He's actually beating Graves, and he has the same amount of kills.
Beating Udyr at this point.
Yeah, and he's sitting at almost the most gold in the game, second most gold in the game on Akatsuki Angel right now.
I mean, Arbit Rage has the ability to do this. It'll take forever.
22 minutes. Actually, it's not going to take quite as long as you might think. They do have 2 Wriggles on this between the two of them right now. Arbit Rage is nowhere near in danger of dying. They have the Oracles and ATAB.
Right.
TKS has no idea. This is actually going to be amazingly good. Look at this. Arbit Rage saying, listen, let's just do Baron. time to win. It's 22 minutes and 30 seconds in the game. Dragon hasn't even respawned yet. ATAF actually getting dangerously close to dying there. If you did not know, Dragon or Baron does not respond in the same way that Dragon and minions do in terms of targeting. Baron will always attack the closest player to it.
I never realized that Bloodthirster was the Bloodthirster.
Oh, you didn't? Actually, Arbit Rage coming on a Rekfi right now. He's going to just dive onto the tower. No problem. Pick up yet another kill. He's unstoppable. 500, 187 CS, and he just got Baron for his team.
Yeah.
All-star player here. Arbit Rage really, not that the rest of the team hasn't been doing excellently, but definitely MVP in this particular match, or in this particular game. And TKS is up against the wall if I've ever seen, ever seen it before. Taking that second tower in top and refusing to bank even now. Laminios is nearby with red buff, but even Laminios says, I don't want to deal with that.
It's interesting that Fairy Tail actually using the same strategy they used to take Dragon earlier by only sending a couple people.
Yep.
And then kind of counting on the fact that TKS wouldn't see it coming. And even though it took a while since they had no idea that it was happening, it doesn't matter how long it takes.
Exactly. Early oracles from ATAV, very powerful in that respect. And just complete map control. They can be so many different places at once and know that they can respond quickly. They're very mobile, and that they're not going to risk dying because they're so far ahead. Definitely, I'm calling it right now. Udyr ban for next game. Actually, exhaust going down for TKS, and here's the Dragon again. It's ATAV just leading people around by the nose, saying, "Hey, come get objectives with me."
He is charming.
I think that's Sealy you mean.
Oh, you're right.
That's right. Oh yeah. Tofu back in a lane, and look at this spread. Actually, look at the map right now. The minion's taking a lot of damage. Look at this ever closing in like border. They're pushing this line towards them. You can see my mouse cursor tracing this. Basically, they're collapsing in. The map control, the amount of map that TKS has the ability to even maneuver around is dwindling fast. And actually, looks like their bottom jungle is. ATAV's already declaring, "Hey, this bottom jungle is mine." We're already invaded both jungles. They don't even have the bottom tower, outer tower yet. We have Balls and Tofu trying to respond to that, but actually, Arbit Rage calling what I just did as well. Hope this doesn't influence Udyr ban though.
I think it's interesting. Even though Arbit Rage has pushed this far out, really controlling the map, he's not. He's still being very safe by putting a ward by TKS's red.
Yep.
He wants to know if he's going to get 5-man ganked, which is sensible.
Absolutely.
Definitely, if you're planning on pushing this far, this is certainly a way to go.
Well, with the split team strategy they've had so far, why not be safe if you're split? You're getting such an advantage by forcing the other team to group up anyway. Actually, Angel being very aggressive right there with that positioning. And look at, oh my god, Arbit Rage taking down the tower. He's on the inhibitor. He's giving, there's the exhaust. Balls is actually one of the best members of the team right now to kill Arbit if he can manage to stack.
What was that?
That was the
Is it a
Laminios dragon
in the wrong direction? I don't know. I wasn't actually quite paying attention to that.
Actually, we do have a little conversation. Rekfi is saying, GGWP already. 5-minute break, please. My hands got too cold.
A little bit earlier, actually. But it seems like they aren't surrendering, so I guess it's not.
And Arbit Rage doesn't. He doesn't care.
Goodness. Do you know what this reminds me of?
Return of Guardsman Bob.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Call it.
Just in the base, not caring. And what was that? Ionia versus Oxus?
Oh yeah,
where
absolutely.
Guardsman Bob as Udyr just chilling in the opponent's base, fighting them 1v5, and didn't really care how many of them came. And that seems to be the kind of situation we got right now.
Yeah. I will say, talking a little bit of items, Akatsuki Angel is going for that kind of a little bit older school build right now with the Bloodthirster Phantom Dancer. He may even go Bloodthirster Double Phantom Dancer, something that I had so much fun playing when it was popular. Yep, definitely going for that build. Otherwise, items Triforce and the Wriggles, of course, for Udyr right now, but he does have some gold, doesn't he? He does have he's got 2,800. He's going to purchase something big right now.
Yeah, I was actually trying to figure
Force
out.
of Nature, maybe? Oh!
I was thinking some damage.
Aggressive, especially to synergize with his Tiger Stance build. That's going to be so damaging. And that's going to rip through any member of their team right now.
I mean, even without that, he's going to rip through any member of their team, but that's certainly not going to hurt.
Absolutely. We do have a needlessly large route now on Sealy. He does have, working towards that death cap, he does have the Will of the Ancients as well. Over on TKS, we do have the Infinity Edge for Balls. That's actually going to put out quite a bit of damage, but unfortunately, Tofu's pretty far behind, only with the Will of the Ancients and the Blasting Wand. A couple Wriggles for Luminios and Rekfi, though. And it looks like a Frozen Heart going to be built on Luminios pretty soon. Surrender vote failed, 3-0.
Clearly, that's not unanimous.
Yeah, Akatsuki Angel is now moving forward with red buff, actually doing a little bit of split push pressure bottom with red buff, which is buff, which is something I like to do certainly after I take the bot outer tower, but I kind of am wondering whether or not just pushing mid. If they switch mid right now with Sealy and Antib, they're just going to take the tower.
And they know
they can take it anyway.
They know TKS is broken. Like, we've seen like several game calls already in chat and several attempts at surrender.
You mean psychologically broken, yeah.
Right,
Look at DeAnd. Oh my god, the crits and the flash onto DeAnd. He really wants to kill, even ults, and manages to get it off with a little bit of dots there. This is just closing the coffin right now.
Yeah.
Putting the nail on the casket.
I'm actually pretty impressed with Balls to Use Graves here, despite the fact that his team's losing really bad. He's still just a little bit behind Vayne in CS, and 2-0-1. It's pretty impressive.
You're right. He's making great decisions. I think he and DeAnd play very well together, and they had a pretty good bot lane. I think it's safe to say that most of the advantage for Fairy Tail did come from their top lane.
I think that's probably pretty safe.
And then that cascaded into, you know, some interesting events such as like their bot lane shenanigans and their jungling, and yeah, absolutely, Arbit Rage was the one that enabled them to get that Baron, so it definitely mostly came from top lane. TKS was actually doing fairly well in bot and mid.
I think Arbit Rage here, this is an example of using Ignite as a summoner spell, right? Like, I'm usually pretty against it, to be honest. I feel like Exhaust is so much better in teamfights, but Arbit Rage using it there to get a couple of kills early on that he would never have gotten otherwise.
You're right, and that's actually the grab on the Tofu. Tofu's going to blow up before he can even have a chance to use his ult. DeAnd's taking a ton of damage. Sealy dives in, kills him actually with the charm. And the Foxfire goes off, but it's now 3v5 in their own base, and they're going to take down those towers, no problem. They have a super minion to tank that one. That's going to be game one in this best of 3 semifinals for Ryze Up 2012 against Fairy Tail on blue and TKS on purple. GG, well played, both teams. And of course, since everyone in this tournament has been very well mannered, we will have a GG coming out of Tofu, GG all around. And great. We'll go ahead and victory out of this. This has been Edwin Moles and Chile. We're going to have the second game from the series up pretty soon. And I'll switch over to us real quick. Have the second game of the... Oh! I always forget to do that.
We're over here somewhere.
Second game of the series up fairly soon. I will be separating the games into chunks so I can upload them the highest resolution possible, because YouTube does have a file size limit on these videos. So, I'll see you guys soon for game 2.
I'm excited.